Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the haunting and thought-provoking world of I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. This novel offers a unique perspective on humanity, memory, and survival in a dystopian setting. If you're intrigued by stories that challenge our understanding of human nature and the essence of identity, this is definitely a book you'll want to explore.
Before we get into the book, let's take a moment to talk about the brilliant mind behind it, Jacqueline Harpman. Harpman was a Belgian writer and psychoanalyst, born in 1929 in Brussels. She began her career in literature at a young age, but it was her later works that truly cemented her place in the literary world. Harpman's dual career as a psychoanalyst and a writer uniquely positioned her to explore the depths of the human psyche with incredible insight and sensitivity. Her life was marked by significant historical events, including the German occupation of Belgium during World War II, which forced her family to flee to Casablanca. These experiences undoubtedly influenced her understanding of displacement and identity, themes that resonate deeply in I Who Have Never Known Men. Harpman's writing is known for its profound psychological depth, intricate exploration of identity, and existential themes. She often delved into the complexities of human emotions and the subconscious mind, making her works a rich ground for analysis and introspection. I Who Have Never Known Men, published in 1995, stands out as one of her most acclaimed novels. It captures her talent for blending stark, minimalist prose with profound philosophical questions, creating a narrative that lingers in the minds of its readers long after the last page is turned. Harpman's contribution to literature extends beyond her novels. She has been a critical voice in exploring the human condition through the lens of both fiction and psychoanalysis. Her works often challenge readers to reflect on their own identities and the constructs of society. With I Who Have Never Known Men, Harpman invites us to ponder the very essence of humanity and what it means to exist without the framework of known experiences and memories. Now, let's delve into the plot of I Who Have Never Known Men. The story is set in a dystopian world, focusing on an unnamed female protagonist who narrates her experiences. The novel begins with her and 39 other women being held in a subterranean prison. These women have no memory of how they got there or why they are imprisoned, and they are watched over by male guards who maintain strict control over them. Our protagonist stands out because, unlike the other women, she has no memory of a life before the prison. She was a child when she arrived and has grown up in captivity, making her the youngest and most enigmatic among the prisoners. This unique perspective allows her to question and observe the situation with a sense of detachment and curiosity that the others, burdened by their lost pasts, cannot afford. The women's monotonous and dehumanizing existence is shattered when one day, an alarm sounds and the guards inexplicably flee, leaving the prison unguarded. Seizing the opportunity, the women escape and emerge into a desolate, barren landscape. They realize they have been held underground in a world that has been seemingly abandoned or destroyed. As they navigate this new and hostile environment, the protagonist becomes the de facto leader, despite her lack of experience and knowledge of the world. The group struggles with basic survival, searching for food and shelter while grappling with the haunting uncertainty of their past and future. The protagonist's lack of prior memories becomes both a curse and a gift. She is unburdened by nostalgia or regret, but also lacks the knowledge and skills that might aid their survival. Throughout their journey, the women slowly succumb to the harsh conditions, and the protagonist is left alone. Her solitude forces her into a profound introspection, pondering the nature of existence, identity, and the human condition. She constructs her understanding of the world through fragments of information and fleeting memories, questioning the very essence of what it means to be human. The novel concludes on an ambiguous note, with the protagonist continuing her solitary trek through the barren world, holding on to the faint hope of finding answers or other survivors. Her journey becomes a metaphor for the existential quest for meaning in an indifferent universe. I Who Have Never Known Men is a haunting exploration of isolation, memory, and the resilience of the human spirit. It challenges readers to reflect on their own perceptions of identity and the constructs that define our existence. Harpman's minimalist yet evocative prose brings to life a stark, haunting world that lingers in the mind long after the final page is turned. The intricate character analysis of I Who Have Never Known Men. The novel's sparse but profound character development centers on a few key figures, each contributing to the story's haunting narrative. Our unnamed protagonist is the heart of the story. She is the youngest among the imprisoned women, having no memory of a life before captivity. This lack of past shapes her unique perspective, free from the burdens of nostalgia and regret that haunt the others. Her curiosity and resilience set her apart. As the story progresses, we see her evolve from a passive observer to a determined leader. Her journey of self-discovery and survival in an unforgiving world is a poignant exploration of identity and the human condition. She embodies the existential struggle, questioning the meaning of existence and humanity in the face of desolation. The other 39 women in the prison serve as a collective character, representing different facets of human response to extreme situations. They each have varied backgrounds and memories, which they cling to as a way to maintain their sense of identity and hope. Their interactions with the protagonist highlight the contrast between her detached curiosity and their emotional struggles. The women's gradual loss of hope and eventual demise underscores the novel's themes of existential despair and the fragility of human life. Although the guards are not deeply explored as individual characters, they play a crucial role in the story. They represent the oppressive and incomprehensible authority that controls the women's lives. Their sudden disappearance triggers the chain of events leading to the women's escape, symbolizing the arbitrary and unpredictable nature of power and control. Throughout the novel, the protagonist's growth is subtle but profound. Initially, her lack of past and emotional detachment make her seem less human compared to the other women. However, as she leads the group through the desolate landscape, her innate leadership qualities and intellectual curiosity come to the forefront. The gradual demise of the other women highlights the stark realities of survival and the human capacity for despair. Their varied reactions to their imprisonment and subsequent freedom underscore the different ways people cope with trauma and hopelessness. The protagonist's interactions with them serve to highlight her own resilience and the unique perspective her lack of memory affords her. In summary, I Who Have Never Known Men presents a minimalist but deeply affecting character study. The protagonist's journey from a curious observer to a solitary wanderer encapsulates the novel's existential themes, while the collective experiences of the other women add depth to the narrative. This character-driven story challenges readers to reflect on their own perceptions of identity, memory, and the human condition. Let's explore the rich themes and symbolism woven throughout I Who Have Never Known Men. This novel, while sparse in its setting and plot, is dense with philosophical questions and symbolic meanings that challenge our understanding of humanity, freedom, and existence. One of the central themes of the novel is existential isolation. The protagonist and the other women are physically isolated in their prison, cut off from the world and from any knowledge of why they are there. This isolation forces them to confront their own existence and the meaning of life in a way that is both profound and unsettling. Closely linked to the theme of isolation is the search for identity. The protagonist's lack of a past forces her to construct her identity from scratch. Her journey is one of self-discovery, as she pieces together an understanding of herself and the world around her. The other women, with their fragmented memories, also struggle with their identities, clinging to their pasts as a way to maintain their sense of self. This theme underscores the fragility and fluidity of identity, especially in the face of extreme circumstances. The theme of survival runs throughout the novel. The women's initial imprisonment and their subsequent journey after escaping the prison highlight the basic human instinct to survive. The protagonist's resilience, in particular, is a focal point, as she leads the group and later survives alone in the desolate landscape. This theme examines not just physical survival, but also the survival of the spirit and the will to live in a seemingly hopeless situation. Freedom, both physical and psychological, is another major theme. The women's escape from the prison initially seems to offer them freedom, but it quickly becomes apparent that their new reality is just another form of imprisonment, albeit without bars. The vast, empty landscape they traverse symbolizes the emptiness of a freedom that lacks meaning or direction. The novel challenges the reader to think about what true freedom means and whether it is attainable. Memory plays a crucial role in the novel. For the other women, memories of their past lives are a source of both comfort and pain. They cling to their memories as a way to hold on to their identities and their humanity. For the protagonist, who has no memories, the concept of memory is both fascinating and alien. This juxtaposition highlights the importance of memory in shaping identity and the human experience. The novel also explores the pain of forgetting and the inevitable erosion of memory over time. The prison where the women are held is a powerful symbol of confinement and control. It represents the oppressive forces that limit their freedom and dictate their lives. The fact that the women have no knowledge of why they are imprisoned adds to the sense of arbitrary power and the dehumanization they experience. The guards symbolize the faceless, arbitrary nature of authority. Their sudden disappearance serves as a catalyst for the women's escape, but also underscores the precariousness of their situation. The guards' absence leaves a void that the women must navigate, highlighting the theme of self-reliance in the face of uncertainty. The vast, barren landscape the women traverse after their escape symbolizes the emptiness and desolation of their newfound freedom. It represents the harsh reality of their existence and the challenges they face in their quest for survival. The desert is both a physical and metaphorical barrier that tests their resilience and will to live. The protagonist's youth and lack of memory are symbolic of innocence and a blank slate. Her perspective is untainted by past experiences, allowing her to see the world with a clarity that the other women lack. Her journey of self-discovery and leadership is a powerful exploration of growth and the formation of identity. Silence is a recurring motif in the novel, symbolizing both the oppression the women face and their internal struggles. The protagonist's voice, however, becomes a symbol of hope and resilience. Her thoughts and observations provide a narrative thread that guides the reader through the bleak landscape, highlighting the power of inner strength and the importance of finding one's voice. I Who Have Never Known Men uses its minimalist setting and sparse plot to explore deep and complex themes. Through its rich symbolism, the novel invites readers to reflect on the nature of freedom, identity, and human existence. It's a haunting and thought-provoking journey that stays with you long after you've turned the last page. At its core, the novel grapples with existential questions about identity and the self. The protagonist, who has no memory of a life before captivity, embodies the concept of a tabula rasa, a blank slate. Her lack of personal history forces her to construct an identity based on her immediate experiences and interactions. This psychological journey is both isolating and enlightening, highlighting how much of our identity is tied to memory and past experiences. The extreme isolation of the protagonist and the other women serves as a crucible for examining human connection and its psychological necessity. Despite their dire circumstances, the women form bonds that provide emotional support and a sense of community. These relationships are vital for their psychological well-being, underscoring the human need for connection even in the most dehumanizing conditions. The protagonist's observations about her companions offer deep insights into the ways people cope with trauma and loss. The novel is a testament to psychological resilience. The protagonist, in particular, demonstrates an extraordinary capacity to adapt and survive. Her internal monologue provides a window into her thoughts and emotions, revealing a mind that is constantly processing, adapting, and finding meaning in a seemingly meaningless situation. Her resilience is not just about physical survival, but about maintaining a sense of self and purpose in the face of overwhelming adversity. This contrast highlights the psychological importance of memory in grounding individuals and providing a sense of continuity and identity. The psychological impact of constant fear and uncertainty is another key theme. The women's captivity and the mysterious nature of their guards create an atmosphere of perpetual anxiety. After their escape, the vast and unfamiliar world outside the prison walls brings a new kind of fear of the unknown. This continuous state of fear affects their mental health, influencing their decisions and interactions. The novel vividly portrays the psychological toll of living under constant threat and the struggle to find security and peace in an uncertain world. The protagonist's search for meaning in her life is a profound psychological journey. Isolated from any known history or future, she is left to ponder the fundamental questions of existence. Her reflections and philosophical musings are a central aspect of the narrative, offering readers a deep dive into the existential dilemmas that define the human condition. Her journey is emblematic of the search for meaning that each individual undertakes, especially in the face of suffering and isolation. As the protagonist emerges as a leader among the women, the novel explores the psychological burden of leadership and responsibility. Her decisions impact the survival and well-being of the group, and she must navigate the complexities of group dynamics, trust, and dependence. This role forces her to grow and develop in ways she might never have imagined, highlighting the psychological challenges and growth that come with leadership. Finally, the novel explores the delicate balance between hope and despair. The women's situation is bleak, and the prospects for their future are uncertain. Yet, the protagonist's enduring hope and her determination to understand her world and her place in it provide a counterbalance to the pervasive despair. This interplay of hope and despair is a central psychological theme, illustrating the resilience of the human spirit even in the darkest of times. The literary style and language of I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman, which plays a crucial role in shaping the novel's haunting and introspective atmosphere. Harpman's writing is characterized by its sparse yet evocative prose. She employs a minimalist style that mirrors the desolation of the novel's setting. The simplicity of her language enhances the starkness of the world she describes, creating a sense of isolation and emptiness. The novel is narrated in the first person by the protagonist, an unnamed woman who has never known life outside the confines of captivity. This choice of perspective is particularly effective in drawing readers into the character's inner world. Through her eyes, we experience the bewilderment, fear, and curiosity that define her existence. The use of first-person narrative creates an intimate connection between the protagonist and the reader, making her reflections and observations more poignant. Harpman's narrative is deeply introspective, often verging on the philosophical. The protagonist frequently reflects on the nature of identity, freedom, and the human condition. These reflections are not just personal musings, but are imbued with a universal quality that invites readers to ponder their own existence. Harpman's ability to weave philosophical questions into the fabric of the narrative adds depth and resonance to the story. The novel is rich in symbolism and metaphor, which Harpman uses to explore complex themes. For instance, the underground bunker where the women are held captive can be seen as a symbol of societal repression and the constraints placed on individual freedom. The protagonist's eventual escape from the bunker represents a quest for self-discovery and liberation. Harpman's use of symbolism adds layers of meaning to the narrative, encouraging readers to look beyond the surface and uncover deeper truths. Despite the sparse prose, Harpman skillfully employs imagery and sensory detail to bring the novel's world to life. Her descriptions of the barren landscape, the oppressive atmosphere of the bunker, and the physical and emotional experiences of the protagonist are vivid and immersive. This attention to detail helps to create a tangible sense of place and mood, enhancing the overall impact of the narrative. The novel's pacing is deliberate and contemplative, mirroring the slow and uncertain passage of time for the protagonist. Harpman structures the story in a way that reflects the protagonist's journey from captivity to freedom, with each chapter revealing new layers of her experience. The gradual unfolding of the plot allows readers to fully absorb the emotional and psychological nuances of the story. Harpman's dialogues are sparse but impactful. The interactions between the women in the bunker are often terse and loaded with unspoken tensions. These dialogues reveal the complexities of their relationships and the psychological toll of their captivity. When the protagonist finally encounters other people after her escape, the dialogues reflect her disorientation and the stark contrast between her previous life and the outside world. In summary, Jacqueline Harpman's literary style and language in I Who Have Never Known Men are integral to the novel's power and resonance. Her sparse, evocative prose, introspective tone, and rich symbolism create a haunting and thought-provoking narrative. By immersing readers in the protagonist's inner world and the desolate landscape she inhabits, Harpman crafts a story that lingers in the mind long after the final page is turned. I Who Have Never Known Men is a profound exploration of humanity, memory, and survival. Jacqueline Harpman's masterful storytelling and deep psychological insights make this a must-read for anyone interested in existential literature. We encourage you to read or revisit this novel and reflect on its themes and characters. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content on classic and contemporary literature. We'd love to hear your thoughts and interpretations of the novel in the comments below. Don't forget to check out our related videos for more book discussions and reviews. Until next time, happy reading!